Welcome to the very first Retro Gaming Chart Show of 2017. By now you should pretty much know how this series goes. I present you a video game sales chart from years gone by, and that's pretty much it really. This month we're travelling back to January 1993 to take a look at the top 10 Mega Drive games from the very first issue of Games Master magazine, the print-based spin-off to the hit UK gaming show. And while the television show is long gone, the magazine still remains popular and is still in print even today. In Europe, the Mega Drive was arguably the most popular of the 16-bit consoles, thanks to some excellent games and some amazing marketing. But what games were the biggest sellers in January 1993, I hear you ask? Well, I'm just about to get on to that. Even though Sonic was clearly the Mega Drive's true mascot, somehow Sega's former poster child Alex Kidd made his way to the 16-bit system. At this point, Alex Kidd in Enchanted Castle has been on sale for 3 years, so its place in this chart is more than a little puzzling, especially considering Sonic's absence. Still, here is Alex at number 10. Not the first time that this game has appeared on this very show, here is the original Mega Drive version of Electronic Arts' Desert Strike coming in at number 9. Now I have a soft spot for this unusual helicopter based action game, and it seems that many others felt the same. It may have had a ton of sequels, but the original is still the best in my opinion. One of the strangest characters on the Mega Drive, Green Dog the Beach Surfer Dude, makes the chart, surfing in at number 8. This easily forgotten about platformer certainly offers a strange premise, where playing as the titular beach surfer dude, it's all about lifting an ancient curse that has prohibited the character from surfing, which is a perfectly reasonable excuse for a platform game. It's no contender to Punch Out, but the 7th entry on this list, Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing, was a somewhat decent attempt to simulate the controlled violence of professional boxing, featuring a sizable career mode and nearly 30 imaginary fighters to face, plus the ability to create your own boxer and then train them up to boost their attributes. It's certainly a good attempt at a more realistic boxing sim. Number 6 is another sports game, it's Super Monaco GP, an early arcade style racer that was pretty damn good at the time. Now of course there are plenty of better racers out there on the Mega Drive, but there are a few that attempt to convey the thrills of Formula 1 racing. If you like sports, dystopian futures and violence, then number 5 will make you raise your fists in glee. Speedball 2 is a port of the popular and critically acclaimed Amiga game by the Bitmap brothers, and if you're looking for something a little gritty, you could do a lot worse. After all that dark violence, why not lighten up with some cartoon violence in Tasmania at number 4. Based on the Warner Brothers cartoon of the same name, you are the Tasmanian Devil, and your immense hunger has led you on a quest to find a giant egg that could feed Taz and his family for a year. It's a good looking game with well animated sprites, but in terms of how it plays, it's not particularly enjoyable. At number 3, No One Can Hear You Scream. Yep, Alien 3 comes in 3rd this month, one of those movie licenses that found its way onto practically every single console at the time. Easily more violent than the movie itself, it's not a bad little action platformer. For a sport that isn't terribly popular here in the UK, ice hockey games seem to do pretty well in the early 90s, and the same is true of Electronic Arts' NHLPA 93, reaching at number 2 in the charts. It plays pretty much like any other EA NHL game, and as such is a pretty good representation of the sport. More sporting action here at number 1, and of course it has to be the beautiful game. European Club Soccer is another pre-FIFA football game, a port of the Amiga's Manchester United Europe. It's a decent football game with several real European teams, but it has nothing on FIFA to be honest. And that is the end of another Retro Gaming Chart Show. As always, these charts offer a fantastic insight into the taste of the games playing public of the past. Thank you very much for watching, and the Retro Gaming Chart Show will be back for another look at the charts gone by next month. But of course I'll be back next week with another video for your viewing pleasure. Goodbye.